Okay, what you're looking at here is my hydroponic setup on a Dutch bucket system, and I got the idea for this basically from watching YouTube videos, several good videos on there, and this is my version of it. Stole some ideas, improvised, and made do with the parts that I had a lot of the time whenever I could to save money. But basically I've got system set up here for 26 buckets. Got everything running into one half of a 55-gallon barrel as a drain. That may or may not be large enough, because of course that's what I'm going to be pumping out of into my buckets in the heat of the summer when the plants are using a lot of nutrient solution. It may not be a large enough reservoir there. But anyway, on to the setup itself. Mine is constructed, my tables, I've got 4 separate tables. Each one of them is made up of 2x6 on the end, 2 feet wide, tied together with a 2x4x8. And what that allows me to do with that setup is, you can see here, I can have on each set of tables, or each pair of tables, I can have one main drain line that is actually set down into the 2x6. I think my notch is about 2 inches deep there. And what that allows you to do is run your drain from your bucket itself directly into that main drain line without having to rig up anything else to support that drain line. And it allows you to keep all your buckets alternating all the way up through, like I've done here. And by alternating your buckets, you're able to fit a few more buckets into a set amount of lengthwise space, I guess you could say. But this is really kind of a test platform that I've made up this year. I actually made these out of spruce pine fir 2x material. I could have done it with pressure treated, and it basically will last forever, but I didn't even know if this setup was going to work this year, so I just went for the cheaper option, saved myself probably $30 in materials, and just used the old spruce pine fir lumber and treated it with some ceiling stain that I had left over from another job that I worked on. But walking up here and looking at this end, you can see the drains run the whole length. If you got your drain line properly I got a phone call here. If you got your drain lines properly rigged up so you got enough fall in them and the water's running off enough, I find you really don't need end caps on your drain pipes. Now, I guess you could always get animals or critters crawling in there, but I've never had that problem when I did it last year. Also, if you want to take a look at what I got for my base for my tables here, I just got them basically set up on cinder blocks. It's a good cheap way to do it. I didn't have to make table legs. I don't have to worry about something else coming in contact with the ground and getting termites in it or rotting. Gets them up off the ground. And to get the little bit of slant that you need for your drain lines to drain properly, I just used a level and put old pieces of 2x4 underneath my tables on one end. The other end I would just not put anything on or shim it up as need be to get everything to drain properly. It's a pretty simple setup, really. I like to try to keep things as simple as possible and as inexpensive as possible. But this year in my setup I'm going to be growing, I think I got about 6 different varieties of tomatoes. I don't know what's going to work in this hydroponic setup. I did do some different tomatoes, like a heat set, 3 or 4 different heat set varieties last year that did fairly well for me. This year I've got some different varieties. I've got Mountain Merits, I've got Mountain Glory, I've got some old time varieties of Better Boys, Arkansas Travelers, and later on I'm going to be getting some Cherokee Purple seeds planted and give them a try as well. Some of the other ones I've got also are Amelia, and I'm trying some German Johnson tomatoes as well. And for early tomatoes I've got a couple of Stupis. Yep, that's about it for the setup. Once I get it going, I'll do another little video so you can see it actually in operation. Right now it's just it's in the setup phase. I still got to get my pump in place and all my feeder lines, and once that's set up, should be up and running.